Hi there, and welcome back to another Papetti Math YouTube video tutorial where I'm going to be teaching you, yes, you, Algebra 1. And in this video, we're going to continue on with our review of percents. Now, in exercise number 4, we want to solve each of the following by using one operation. So the first one says 600 increased by 15%. And what our gut reaction might say to do is 600 times 0.15, because that's 15% as a decimal, and get an answer there. So that's going to give us 15% of 600. So let's see what we get as an answer there. So we're going to get 15% of 600 will give us 90. So that'll be 90. But again, we want to increase 600 by 90. So we're going to do 600 plus 90. And that will give us 690 as our final answer. But again, it says we want to use only one operation here. So how can we do this using one operation? So basically what we want to do is we want to take 600, that's our starting amount, and we want to multiply it by something that will give us 690. And really what we're doing here is we're trying to get this right here, this whole thing right here. So what are we going to multiply 600 to get 600 plus 90? So that's what we need to ask ourselves. First, if we have a 600 here, what are we going to multiply 600 by to get 600? And the answer there is 1. So we have 600 times 1 will give us 600. And now we're going to add to that. How do we get 90? Well, 600 times what will give us 90? Well, we see that up here. We see that 600 times 0.15 will give us 90. So really, in other words, 600 times 1 plus 0.15 is the same thing as doing both of these operations here. And we could combine this 1 plus 0.15 here to just be 1.15. So I'll just go ahead, I'm going to erase this to make it look nicer. And it's really 600 times 1.15, and that will give us 690, which is the same thing. And this is only one operation here. But where does this come from? Well, it's saying to take 600 and multiply it by what percent is this here? This is 115%, because we need that 100% that we already have of 600 and then add 15% onto that. So this is really saying take what we already have, 100%, and add 15% onto it. And when we multiply these two, we get to skip a step, and it makes our life a little bit easier. So here is using one operation, 600 increased by 15%. Using that same line of thinking, we're going to do $360 decreased by 9%. So now $360 decreased by 9%. Well, we need to think about if we have our original 100% and we want to decrease it by 9%, what's going to be remaining after? And 100% decreased by 9%, we have 91% remaining. So we have 100% minus 9%, and that's going to give us 91%. But what's 91% as a decimal? That's going to be 0.91. So this is going to be 0.91. And again, we're multiplying by what we want to be left over. So this is using one operation here. We have 360 times 0.91 will give us our final answer of, let's see, we have 360 times 0.91, and we get 327.6. But let's remember our units here were dollars. So we have 327.6 is really 60 cents. So we want two decimal places there with the 0 on the end. All right. So again, using one operation, that's what we were able to do there. 650 increased by 1.5%. So again, we're going to take that original 100% and we're going to add on 1.5%. And 1.5% as a decimal here is really 0.015. So we're going to add this onto 1 for 100%. So we're going to have 650 times 1.015 because we're increasing that original amount 100% plus 1.5%. And this here will give us our final answer, only using only one operation. So let's do that. 650 times 1.015, and we get 659.75. 659.75 is 650 increased by 1.5%. Now in exercise 4 here, we used percent increase and decrease, and the only thing that might have been new here is using only one operation as opposed to two steps to get to the same answer. So this one operation is going to come in quite handy in our next lesson. But before we get to our next lesson, we have an exercise left in this lesson, which is found in our next video. But before you go there right away, give this video a thumbs up to let me know that I helped you out. Thank you very much.